Hi, everyone, and welcome to Smart Trips Live. Happy Friday. And we actually have in store a special guest for you. We know we are actually one day away from the kickoff to the ABC Kite Fest. This is definitely one of our best traditions that Austin has. So with that being said, I really can't take up more time for myself, but I would love to bring on my special guest. We have Bobby. Jenkins is the spokesman for the ABC Kite Fest. Hi, Bobby. How are you doing?
Good afternoon, Liliana. Doing well. It's such a beautiful day. We're ready for the Kite Fest.
Great, great. And then my other special guest is Colin Wells. He is the CEO of the Austin Parks Foundation. How are you doing, Colin?
Great, Liliana. Thanks for having me this afternoon. We couldn't be more excited to be here and ready for the ABC Kite Fest to get underway.
Great, great. Yes. So we actually have in store a couple of questions for you both. But our tradition here at Smart Trips Live, we actually also take questions along the way. So just know if there's a question from our public, you guys are more than welcome to add it to the comment box. We will be happy to take it and accept and follow along. But at this point, I will actually turn it over to Bobby, and I would please love for you to share how you are involved with the ABC Kite Fest.
Yeah, Liliana, thank you. So I'm involved. I have ABC Home and Commercial Services. That's the business. That's the ABC and the ABC Kite Fest. And we, for the last, several years, 10 years or so, have been a sponsor of the Kite Festival. It originally started back in 1929, and for the last 92 years has been put on by the Exchange Club of Austin. And they're still our partner in putting it on today, and a wonderful, wonderful service organization. But several years ago, we transitioned from being just a sponsor to being the group that puts it on. And so it is, like you said, I can't think of a better event in Central Texas that is more family friendly, has an incredible long tradition. The idea of, everyone gathering in Zilker Park to kick off springtime. It's just the best event. We are so excited to be a part of it. This year's going to be a little bit different. We'll talk about that. But the history behind the Kite Festival is so rich and so important to so many people here in Central Texas. There's not many people that haven't been here for a while that go, I remember when I was X age and my parents would take me or my grandparent would take me. So that kind of stuff about the Kite Festival really makes it unique and extra special, quite frankly.
Great. Thank you so much for sharing that, Bobby, and just, your unity with the ABC Kite Fest and just how you're a part of it now. But I do want to ask the same question to Colin. I would love to know how the Austin Parks Foundation is tied to it and anything else you would like to share, Colin.
Thanks, Liliana. The Austin Parks Foundation is super excited to be involved this year with the ABC Kite Fest. Obviously, everything Bobby and his team at ABC do, they're such a community-minded organization that we're just really honored to partner with them. We've been friends with the Kite Fest for a long time, and this year it just made a lot of sense to us, knowing that it wasn't really going to be possible to do a big gathering event in Zilker. And James Russell from the ABC Kite Fest reached out and just said, hey, let's talk about how we can make this more of a citywide thing and less just about going to Zilker. And so the idea of branching out to all of the 369 parks in Austin was born. And so we're really glad just to play a role in encouraging people to get out to their neighborhood park or their local park to fly a kite with their neighbors.
That's great, Colin, and thank you so much for sharing that. Bobby, you actually have a great point. I myself also experienced going to the Kite Fest as a little girl, and now having my family, I take my kids, my two boys as well. So it's definitely a tradition that keeps on going. But with that being said, of course, in your screen, it shows the big 9-2 year. But I do want I know you touched a little bit on the history and the importance of this community event. If there's anything else that you would like to share with the audience in regards to just the Austin tradition that keeps on going. Anything that you would like to share with them as far as what it will look like this year?
Yeah, Lily, Colin really said it so well, and this is obviously a different year than in the past. In the past, especially the last several years, when the weather's good, and we've had some challenges with the weather. Sometimes the rain has not been our friend, but when the weather's good, you're talking about 30, 40 plus thousand people gathered in Zilker Park, and it really is unique and absolutely magic. And so, partnering with the Austin Parks Foundation this year and really using all these kites, we've been able to, like everybody has done this year, pivot and do something different that I quite frankly think, Colin, we haven't talked about it. I hope this becomes part of the Kite Fest going forward, where we do make it a full community event where if you don't want to go down to Zilker, you can go to your community park and fly your kite. Well, that's what we're going to do this year. And that way we don't have a big group gathering all at once. And so obviously safety and health is really, really important to everybody. And we want to make sure that wherever you go, be outside, have your own little pod. You could have your own little kite contest and see whose kite flies the highest or those kinds of things. It's really good stuff. So this is different, but I think it's going to be fun. I think it's been a great day. We've expanded it to 2 days instead of one. Historically, we've all gathered on Zilker on the Sunday and had everyone there. But this way we'll have 2 days. So we have a better chance of having good weather, I think, Colin, having 2 days and having the chance to do Saturday and Sunday. But the history, Liliana, is so rich, as you said. 1929. Can you imagine what Austin looked like in 1929? But the fact that flying kites, I think it just speaks to the point that this is a timeless event. And it's a timeless activity. I mean, the feeling of getting a kite up in the air and flying it is something, I don't care what age you are, it's just a good, relaxing, wonderful feeling. And then, we were talking earlier, that picture of Zilker Park and downtown Austin on a beautiful spring day, believe me, that's what the Chamber of Commerce wants Austin to look like every day. So it is a wonderful, wonderful event, wonderful tradition. This year's just going to be different, and we'll be spread out and doing different things. We also, the other part of the Kite Fest day is Moss Fest, and Moss Fest is a children's concert that for the last several years we've held in the park as part of the Kite Fest. We have the stage, and we'd have different artists that would play children's music, and we bring in artists from all over the country. Well, this year, obviously, we can't do that, but the pivot has actually been one that I'm very excited about. We've got 18 different artists from all over the country that have recorded their songs. They've sent them in. We're going to be playing them on our website on Saturday and Sunday. And it's going to be an unbelievably wonderful treasure for people to watch then or save and watch later. So we're going to have fantastic music for kids. And then so little music and a little kite flying, that just makes for a great day as far as I'm concerned.
Yes, and I totally agree with you, Bobby. Something that, hit home, I think, during the pandemic, everyone was going to parks and seeking parks as the green spaces and just allowing I myself explored trails and parks with my family just to really get out and taking precautions and everything. So I know Austin Parks, that could not have been done without you, so thank you so much for that. I know I want to talk a little bit more about the events, and Colin, I'm going to kind of switch over here to you. I know we have some major parks where we are doing different events, so can you speak to that and share a little bit more about that, Colin?
Yeah, so I think just like Bobby said, it's been such an amazing event at Zilker for such a long time. And as the city's grown and people live all over Austin, there are so many great parks. And I totally agree, which is, moving forward, wouldn't it be amazing if instead of one park that has a Chamber of Commerce photo on the day of Kite Fest, we've got 369 that all look that way. And that's really what we see as sort of the long-term possibility, is just people going out, meeting their neighbors at their local park, flying kites in a safe way with their kids. And, to Bobby's point, I have a 6 and a 3-year-old, and they're so excited about going out and flying a kite this weekend. And, flying a kite is just such a great family activity. It's such a perfect activity for the pandemic. You can do it in a socially distanced way. And it's still a ton of fun. And so, and you don't have to go down to Zilker this year. You can just walk right down to your local park or drive, to your favorite park. But I think, Liliana, you really nailed it earlier when you talked about, what we've seen is park usage has been up dramatically during the entire pandemic. And this is a great opportunity for people to go discover new parks, and go to a park that you've never been to, and do some discovery. So we see it as just a great opportunity all around for people to not only, go enjoy their local park, but also to do some discovery into some other parks with their kites.
Yes, thank you so much, Colin. And yeah, my advice was to Bobby. He mentioned earlier that he was actually taking his granddaughters. I'm like, my advice is to take more than just one, just in case it flies out or something happens to it, right? So I actually want to go into like activities, and Bobby, maybe you can help me with this in regards to years prior. I actually know there is a community kite fest contest because I remember staying in and watching it with my family. But can you please give us like those activities that are going to occur? You mentioned this is definitely going to be a weekend event. So let us know, what is it that we need to know? What dates? What's happening? Please feel free to share that with us.
Yeah, Liliana, it's here. It is tomorrow and Sunday, so Saturday and Sunday, the 27th and 28th. In the park, we're not going to have some of the things that we've had before in each of the parks, right? In the past, we've had a kids zone and big bouncy houses and food trucks all there in Zilker. Well, we're not going to have that. And that's fine, because the focus is really going to be on family and being safe, as Colin said, your own little group, your own pod, so we can do this safely without, too many people getting too close to each other, which we think is obviously very, very important. But each group having your own contest, right? And taking pictures of your kites and seeing who's can fly the highest. If you want to do a race with the kids, which one has the fast, we would do a 50-yard dash and kids with their kites behind them and make the biggest kite or the smallest kite. So we've always had a wonderful contest. Again, the Exchange Club of Austin has always been in charge of the contest and giving away the trophies. So we're hoping people will send their pictures in and we can post those and share them on social media. KXAN has been a wonderful partner with us over the years. And so, hopefully we can maybe get some of those pictures out there where people can see them. But all these different contests are fun. And we may have a whole bunch of winners this year, which I think is just great. The more winners, the better. So each one of those parks, there'll be little contests taking place. And then again, like I referenced, the Moss Fest concert, that can be done when you want to do it. You can go and go onto the website and start listening to it. You can listen to it for a while, because I will tell you again, I said it a minute ago, but the diversity of talent and the quality of talent that's going to be there on those 18 acts is really, really impressive. Some of it's local and some of it's from all over the country. And so it really does make for a unique day. And like I said, I wish we were all able to gather at one place. But again, I think we're going to have some lessons learned when this is all over. And we're going to implement some pieces of this. And the Kite Fest, the 93rd Kite Fest in 2022 is going to be even better than anything we've had. Matter of fact, you got a picture up right there. I'm going to take executive privilege. The little girl on the left-hand side, Liliana, is my oldest granddaughter, Madeline. So, it's fun to see kids out playing, and wherever they are, flying kites regardless. And the parks are all going to be so beautiful. Everyone's going to have a smile on their face this weekend. They'll have 2 days to have a big smile on their face.
Well, Bobby, you're actually putting a smile on my face just speaking about it. So thank you so much for that. I actually, one of the photos, and thank you for highlighting that speaks volumes about that photo, right? We're looking at their smiles, and just because that's really what's it about, just getting together with your family, enjoying the green space and just being there at times. So thank you so much for sharing that with us. I do, our tradition here at Smart Trips Live is actually we have like a little call to action, right? It's something that we want to leave our viewers with as we're closing up the show. So I do want to take a moment, and I would love, this question goes both to Bobby and Colin, but I would love to know, what would you tell families at home or viewing us currently right now about this event? And I know I want to take a moment. We talked about it earlier on, which was the pandemic and everything that came with it, and just taking a moment to kind of pause about it. And, this is one of the events that for sure we look forward to as a community, but also like just the emphasis that we're still in this together. We're still, moving forward. But I would love to turn it over to Colin first, and then from there, I'll switch over to Bobby.
Yeah, thanks, Liliana. I would just tell people, don't make it too difficult. Just go down to your local park. And even if you don't have a kite, go watch other people fly kites. It's such a joyous thing. And it just puts a smile on your face when you see other people flying kites and when you're flying your own kite. And so don't make it too difficult. You've got all day Saturday and all day Sunday, and I'm confident we're going to have great weather. So just get outdoors with your family, go enjoy some fresh air while it's still relatively cool in Austin, and enjoy some flying of kites.
Great. Thank you so much, Colin, for sharing that. Bobby, anything you would like to add?
The way I look at it, Liliana, is, obviously the pandemic's been horrible on so many levels and with so much loss, and we've all been cooped up, and everybody's worked hard, I think, to be safe and respectful of others. And we all know that there is light at the end of the tunnel. That's the beautiful thing. And I really look at this weekend, kind of the feeling, matter of fact, starting Monday, everybody can go get vaccinated right here in Texas. So that's encouraging. I look at this as the kind of our community coming out of our cocoon, coming out of our homes, being able to go outside, to be in small groups, still practicing that safety that we talk about. But it is almost like the pandemic. We're coming to the next side of it. We're kicking off spring. And I always love that about the Kite Festival. It's like the true spring is here, and here we go. So like Colin said, the chance to just be outside, be with your family, be with your pod, be with your group. But really, I have no doubt that come the end of Sunday, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to have big smiles on their face while they have enjoyed the day. And that's what I look forward to. I look forward to this kind of kicking off spring. And I really believe that this is, with the end of the pandemic, hopefully in sight, that this is kind of a kickoff to that also, to all of us getting back to some semblance of a normal world, hopefully.
Great. Thank you so much, both of you. And I do want to mention to the viewers watching us currently right now that Capital Metro, of course, is part of the Smart Trips Austin family, and they do have a mobile app you can easily download to figure out how you can transit over to your neighborhood park, or like Colin mentioned earlier, explore a different park. So I do want to mention that, as always, Capital Metro, anyone that writes there, children ages 18 and younger, write for free. So consider that as you're taking your family over. But I really just want to take time to thank you both for participating in our Smart Trips Live. It was a great honor for sure to be your hostess. I hope you guys come back again next year. We're going with the bang, right, Bobby, for that 93. So again, thank you everyone for joining us, and please feel free to look up ABC Kite Fest. Please visit your neighborhood park. Use the hashtag as well. Don't forget that as you're uploading your videos or your pictures to it. But again, from Smart Trips Live and from our family to yours, we just really want to thank you for watching us today. We'll see you soon.